So our role of a controller in peacetime is identify each and every aircraft flying in the sector in time, identify that aircraft, and also provide positive navigation to the fighters. There are transport and helicopter movements also do take place. We do provide surveillance to them also. Apart from that, at times the fighter ferry goes from one base to other base. From Jodhpur, the ferry is going to Tejpur. So fighter ferries are always fly through the radar cover. Their fight plan is made such that some or other radar is tracking them and providing surveillance in case of need. So this is what is the role of the fighter controller during peacetime.
Yes, sir.
Another thing I would like to tell you here is fantastic. Probably many of you will know. I was also posted to Bareilly. Now, Bareilly, we had a MiG-25 aircraft. MiG-25 was a air reconnaissance aircraft. We had only 6 aircraft of that kind. And when this aircraft was made by Russia, in world, nobody else had these aircrafts.
Okay.
This aircraft used to fly at the height of 40 to 50,000 feet. And at that height, the speed used to be 2.5 Mach, that is 2,500 kilometers per hour.
Okay.
You can imagine 2,500 kilometers per hour speed at 50,000 feet. Means on our radar, the blip used to jump from, and the entire 600 kilometer he used to cover in 4 blips. The one jump, he is almost 100 kilometers, second jump, 200 kilometers, and fourth jump, he is out of the radar. So goes to the next radar.
Okay.
In fact, Air Force tried to intercept this radar as a practice interception. There was one sortie was flown from Srinagar to Chennai. And all the radars en route were told that, okay, you remain available, your fighters are available on ground, and you intercept this aircraft. But we could not, because with the ammunition and the missiles, when our fighter starts climbing to that height, he consumes petrol. And by the time he climbs and reaches that height, he is already low of fuel. So he has to return back.
Okay.
So that is the kind of aircraft is there. And from Bareilly, these aircraft used to regularly go to China and Pakistan for air surveillance. And from that height, they used to take the pictures and come back and give it to a photo interpreters. And let me tell you, the pictures were so clear from that height that when he takes the aircraft, he takes the picture of the car, you can read the car number plate. That is the clarity.
Okay.
And this aircraft had nothing other than camera and fuel. There was nothing else available.
No ammunition.
No ammunition, nothing. It is only the reconnaissance aircraft.
Okay.
And when this aircraft used to come back for landing, he used to come with a low fuel. Because of flying at that height and the speed, he used to consume his entire fuel. So the moment he enters the Indian border, he used to give a call. And we have been told that when he crosses the border, controller will not give any call to him unless we find a threat to him. So they are free. We will have no contact because otherwise their position will be revealed. So they go on their own, they come back, and after returning leg, they used to give us a call that I am on way back. The moment I get a call, I used to inform the ATC, Bareilly ATC, that our aircraft is returning back. Please stop all the movements. So all aircrafts have been told to move away. No landing permitted, no takeoff permitted till this aircraft lands because he is coming as a critical fuel.
Okay.
So he has to come and land, and then only other movements will take place. So all other aircrafts have been told to avoid the route and stay away. So that is kind of this aircraft MiG-25 used to operate, and we used to give him cover. In wartime, we have to maintain the vigil on our border activities. We have to see that any aircraft moving in needs to be identified, and if identified, our combat air patrols are always on in those days during wartime. So we have to guide our fighters correctly to position them behind the enemy aircraft and see and destroy the enemy aircraft. In fact, many of you must have heard there is Atlantic destruction. Yeah. After Kargil, there was a Pakistan Navy tried to enter Indian borders in Nalia side.
Okay.
Which was identified on radar.
Sir.
Interceptors were sent from Nalia, and Atlantic was destroyed in flight. We killed 16 of the soldiers, of Pakistani soldiers, in that aircraft. So this is the kind of job and vigil the fighter controllers maintain. I'll come here later. Let me tell you another small incident of my controlling stage. In 1986,
Sir.
November 1986, the brass tacks was announced.
Sir.
And brass tack was a very massive exercise. It was, in fact, after World War II, this is the only movement in the entire Asian contingent where such a movement was taken place. In Indian Army, 50% Indian Army was moved for the exercise from one place to other place. Indian
Okay.
Airforce squadrons also moved from all over country, and we were positioned towards the western sector. This
Okay.
exercise was held in western sector.
Sir.
My radar was in Jodhpur. So from Jodhpur, my radar was asked to move immediately in 24 hours to Sachor, which was my op location.
Okay.
So we moved from Jodhpur to Sachor and started rotating from Sachor. First 5 days, there was a lot of tension. We never knew that when the war will start. But after 5 days, there was a Rajiv Gandhi Accord and things normalized. After normalization, one day we realized that Pakistan is trying some serious things. At around 1:30, when the shift change takes place, 2 fighters used to enter border from here, take a turn and go out from here. So they used to enter and take a round inside the Indian territory and go out. So first day when it was noticed, we found this unusual activity. So I informed my seniors that this is what is happening. And we had very qualified controller with us. So they said, okay, not to worry, we will teach them a lesson. Now, second day, we again monitored the same activity that they come here, take a round and go out again back. And probably Mirpur Khas was stationed from where they should take off. So we did the proper planning on paper, like we do the planning in our day-to-day routine flying activities with the squadron.
Sir.
So Jodhpur ATTC was informed about this activity, and we said at so and so time, this aircraft appear. So we will be giving a scramble order where 2 aircraft which are positioned at Uttar Lai in operation readiness platform, that is ORP, we call it ORP if you are aware.
Yes, sir.
ORP is a 2 minutes, 5 minutes and 15 minutes. 2-minute ORP means the aircraft, pilots are sitting in the aircraft is ready to started up, ready to take off any moment, the moment I give a scramble call.
Okay.
So everything was planned, scramble call was planned, it was noted by ATC Uttar Lai, it was noted by Jodhpur. Otherwise, generally it is sudden. We don't do this, but here in this case,
pre-planned.
Everything was pre-planned very nicely. Yes. We spoke to 4 squadron pilots also that tomorrow who will be on duty, and he was told that this is what is the exercise, this is what is going to happen. So we will keep you low level, and at the right time we will give you the climb and a speed. So that time you climb and look in front, you will find 2 fighters of Pakistan.
Sir.
And approximately 1:30, we picked up the 2 dots in Pakistan.
Okay.
We scrambled our aircraft from Uttar Lai.
Sir.
And by the time they started climbing, probably Pakistan also kept their radars on. So they noticed the movement from Indian side that 2 fighters are approaching. Immediately the fighters were told to turn back, and they took immediate hard turn and entered back into the Pakistan territory. But in this practice, by the time they could take a turn, our fighters were behind them. They noticed and they visually in contact with the fighters of Pakistan.
Okay.
Now our pilots were eager to shoot them down. So they were shouting, they said, we are in physical contact. Allow us to shoot.
Okay.
So they were given takeoff. They landed back at station. They initially started abusing on telephone that there were fighters of Pakistan in front. Why didn't you tell us to shoot? But we then conveyed to them that they had already moved to the Pakistan. In fact, in tail chase, you were also entering Pakistan. So that is how we told you to break off and come back. So this is one incident I remember. And this was a wonderful experience and exposure as a fighter controller for me. Now, things have changed. As I said, I started my journey from that blip where the soybean seed kind of dot used to be seen on radar. Then things moved and improved. Electronic things came up. And today, the Indian Airforce has reached a stage with, thanks to FNET. All of us are aware that there is an Air Force network communication system has been started up 10-15 years back. Now, everybody is on a FNET mobile smartphone where we are not connected to a civil line, and we can communicate our information very secretively to each other. So on that FNET line, now there is a system, integrated air command control system, where there is no requirement of any controller to be placed in the forward area. All controllers, they will sit in Jodhpur, Ayanagar, Gandhinagar radar station. And earlier, as I said, there used to be 5 to 6 controllers used to be on duty. Now, today in given situation, there are almost 20 to 25 controllers available on duty at any given time. And they have a wide picture starting from Gandhinagar to Delhi and up to Punjab and Jammu. Entire picture is available on radar of Jodhpur on screen. Similarly, the Ayanagar is getting all the pictures. So all These informations are provided by radars available in front, observation post available in front, then AWACS. Now, as I said, ground radars have limitation because of the terrain, hills and buildings. Our radar coverage is limited to 100 meter and above. But whereas the AWACS is a fantastic aircraft, when AWACS starts operating, AWACS can pick up the aircraft on ground.
Okay.
The aircraft standing on runway also can be picked up by AWACS. So with that kind of facility, the AWACS signal is also provided to the ADDC. Naval radars also pass information from ship, and civil air traffic control services also they pass information. So there is a wide range of information available with the ADDC, and nowadays they control and they can control any attack or any movement till border sitting at Jodhpur. There is no need of controller like me sitting in Sanchor and controlling the aircraft. Now all the flyings and activities can be controlled by ADDC in emergency situation from Jodhpur. So this is kind of change which has taken place in Air Force for good, and I'm sure in coming days things will further improve and Indian Air Force and Air Defense will go far ahead. Thank you very much. I have completed my inputs. Anything else you would like to know on this?
Thank you so much, sir, for your meticulous preparation, historically starting from the previous times and how they developed in a paced manner, including the latest technology that is being adopted by Indian Air Force. And in fact, we didn't know all these things. Though we were in Air Force, we didn't know all these details. So now, thank you so much for sharing all the details for us. And also one instance I would like to ask you where F-16 was shot by our Wing Commander Abhinandan.
Yes.
How it could have happened, sir, with your knowledge?
Okay. F-16 shooting took place in the Balakot activity.
Yes, sir.
I was AOA at that time in Air Headquarters. So when we did the surprise attack on Balakot, Pakistan was not aware that India is planning some such kind of thing.
Sir.
Though they were prepared that something might happen from Indian side. And in fact, if you have heard the entire story, the Pakistani radars were on in the night. They had a combat air patrol available in the night.
Okay.
And Indian Air Force has fooled them by sending the aircraft at a higher level towards the Nalia side. So aircraft took off from Jodhpur, went down towards Nalia. Pakistan thought that we are attacking Karachi. So the fighters turned back, and we found an opportunity where their AWACS, they had only one AWACS. The moment the AWACS landed for refueling, our aircrafts were in readiness, and our planning was such that we entered from the Srinagar side, attacked Balakot and came back. For that revenge, the next day, and we were prepared from Air Force side that there will be revenge action from Pakistan, and they came to attack the Srinagar side. But our aircrafts were in readiness, and after seeing our aircraft, they launched the weapon from the Pakistan territory. Nowadays, we have a stand-off weapons. There is no need for fighters to go and overhead and attack the target. They can launch weapon from any direction or any side. So similarly, Pakistan launched the MRAM missiles within the Pakistani territory, but they were so close of Indian territory that Indian fighters flying around could notice them. And Abhinandan, who was flying MiG-21, got energized. There was a controller sitting there, lady controller, who spotted, and he requested, he said, if you guide me, I would like to attack these Pakistani fighters. And she guided them properly. He entered the Pakistan territory, very close to the Pakistani border, and after seeing the F-16 on his radar, some aircraft, he can't make out which aircraft it is. So he found out the Pakistani aircrafts on his radar. He attacked the F-16, and it was very appropriate attack. Aircraft was shot down, but in bargain, other fighters flying in same vicinity, since there was no cover for him from behind, they fired on him, and his aircraft also got shot down. And unfortunately, he fell inside the Pakistan territory and he was captured.
It means fighter controls play a vital role in these operations.
Absolutely right. Nowadays, things have improved a lot because, as I told you in earlier days when MiG-21s were there, if any person who has known a MiG-21 technician or pilot, he will vouch for it that time the AI radar available on MiG-21 used to have range 8 to 10 kilometer. Means in front of him, anything coming up to 10 kilometer radius, he can find on his radar. But beyond that, he could not see. But nowadays with the Mirage and MiG-29, the range is fantastic.
Sir.
Means the moment you give them a turn and tell them that there's an aircraft at 80 kilometer, he will say contact with the aircraft. So thereafter, once he says contact, then the controller's responsibility finishes. Our responsibility is still he makes the contact with the target aircraft. The moment he says contact, my job is over, then it is his plan to tackle and handle the situation.
So another situation, sir, in 71 war where our flying officer Shakhan was involved.
Yes.
Can you share something on that, sir? Do you have any information on that?
No, 71 on this aspect I have no information, but probably it was a friendly fire in which he got shot down. So what happens during wartime, there is so much panic,
sir,
that it is very difficult to identify who is coming, who is going, and it do happen in those times when we do fire on our own aircraft missions which are returning back after striking, or any other flying activity, like you must have heard that Mi-8 shooting down in Srinagar during Balakot time. The aircraft got airborne from Srinagar. He was going to Jammu, and in same time there is Pakistani strike came in. So because strike came in, at that time when the strike comes to the base, we always all air defense weapons, we give them the order that weapons free. Weapons free means they are free to fire on any aircraft.
Okay.
So since the strike was coming in, we didn't know whether the strike is coming to Srinagar, Avantipur or any other place. The weapons probably were free in Srinagar. And who ordered this aircraft to return? Now, he should have sat down somewhere there or something else. I don't know. Now, this is a technical issue, and on this aspect, I am not competent and qualified to comment. But this aircraft turned back to Srinagar for landing at Srinagar. So while heading for Srinagar, the missiles in Srinagar, they found one aircraft heading for Srinagar. Missiles were free, so they fired. And unfortunately shot our own aircraft.
So sometimes that misfortune happens.
The unfortunate incident do happens during war.
Okay, sir. So thank you so much, sir, for sharing a lot of information.
Yeah.
And what are the two best learnings out of Air Force, sir? Okay, this is over, that fighter control part.
Yes.
So what you would like to share with our air veterans on the call about the Air Force and your learnings, best learnings, maybe 2-3 from Air Force?
Air Force learning, all of you will vouch that Air Force is a fantastic service.
Yes,
and compared to Army and Navy, though I am an Air Force officer, I will always say Air Force is good, but my interaction and association with the other two services, I have found that Air Force is doing wonderfully well, exceedingly well. And we have developed our system and our support services so well that we don't have to look back. And it is not that only we are doing something in our technical aspect, even looking after the personnel, Air Force is doing a fantastic job. Like if you see the DAV, Director of Air Veterans, because we all are associated with it.
Yes,
the DAV is a fantastic service, and we were the one to initiate this DAV subject.
Okay.
Later on, Army and Navy followed. But today also, the kind of information and support the DAV gives to Air Force personnel, Army and Navy is not able to supply similar information and similar standards. Similarly, Air Force Association.
Sir.
I have not found a service like Air Force Association in other two services. When I talk to other two service officers, they always feel that why Army could not do this and why, because there is no system.
Yes, sir.
In Air Force today, the AFA is supported by Chief of Air Staff.
Correct, sir. Yes.
The retiring chief takes over the president of AFA.
So continue the legacy of Air Force. Yes.
No, our connections and approach with the serving officers and the Air Force chief is very well established.
Yes, sir.
Like any other organization which is ex-service organization wants to get something from the service headquarters, it is very difficult. But for AFA, it is not, because our approach is with the service chief. Our offices are available in the service campus.
Yes, sir.
So all AFA offices are sitting with the serving officers. So there is a direct connect.
Sir.
And because of that, we are looked after very well. Okay. I think AFA Audi chapter he spoke other day. Wing Commander Partha sir, I think he's
Yes, sir.
online.
Wing Commander Partha sir,
He's available. He's doing fantastic job. So our officers who are retired from service,
sir,
I